Drop in the comments where you're coming in from. And actually, I left that from yesterday because Shelly got a badge from TikTok, and TikTok lets you do that. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know what part of the world you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. Drop me a comment. Let me know where you're coming in from. If this is the first time you've been on one of my lives, comment yes. I live on the East Coast of the United States. I'm about 40 to 50 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Good morning. Is it Miracle One? Good morning, TBK. Good morning. Is it Lil? Good morning. I'm really having a hard time seeing this because this is all in white. Good morning, Melissa. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Robert. Where are you coming in from? Michael, you just got a #1 gift badger. Good morning, Sharon. What part of the world are you coming in from? And if you're on my live stream on YouTube, if you don't say anything, I can't see you, so I can't shout you out. If you like my live, Michael, thank you for liking it. If anybody else wants to like my live, I'd really appreciate it. That helps my account out. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Whisper. Is that what people call you? A lot of people, you're setting up your social media accounts under something other than your name. Good morning, Deborah. If you're jumping on, where are you coming in from? Love to know why you're on social media. And Deborah, if that you go by something else, sometimes people's your profile is just not your name. It's New Orleans. Now you're in. Good morning, Lindsay. You're in Ohio. Good morning, Heart Dude. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Cobus. If you're jumping, I am live streaming in 2 places. I've got YouTube on my MacBook Pro, and I have TikTok on my phone. I have software that allows me to do that. Good morning. Is it Cobus? Good morning, Robert. What part of the world you coming in from? You're from Massachusetts. Okay. I live on the East Coast of the United States. I'm about 40 to 50 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Good morning, DKH. Good morning, Joe. Deborah, I believe you commented on one of my YouTube videos. You were asking for my website, which I put it on that video. Good morning. Is it Uli? Good morning, Cartano Motor. I'm assuming your account's about cars. And actually today now, if you're using social media for your car, about your car business, this will be helpful to you. But I've been doing these every day since I've been on here. But today I'm going to talk about a simple system for online success. And let me turn off. TikTok turns a mirror on, which when I put the board up like this, you can't see it right now. It's not letting me turn it off. Okay. And now it's a simple system for online success because a lot of you're using social media for something, and the truth is you're not using it correctly. Social media is a great tool because you can reach over 5 billion people for free, but you want to be using it correctly. Good morning, Edward. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Deb. So the first thing is, and most of you are on here because you have, now the guy that's got his TikTok profile, it's about a card business. You need a product or service or something. Now there is somebody that I haven't seen her in a while in my live. She has a nonprofit that supports women who've been victims of domestic violence, and she's using social media. So there's something that you're doing. I mean, if you're just scrolling, then you wouldn't be interested in this. Good morning, Edwin. Good morning, GM. Good morning, Shelly. Good morning, RT. Good morning, Robert. But you have something, a product, a service, a cause, or something you're using social media for. I do believe a lot of you are on here because you're looking for ways to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the results that you want. And I can give you some tips here, because if you are trying to use social media and you're not getting the results you want, chances are that you're missing something. So you need a product or service. I have a digital product, and if you have something that's in high demand, that'll be a lot easier to get in front of people. Something that people want that solves a problem. And if you're looking for, you should be in a niche. And just to go over this quickly, the 3 biggest niches are the wealth niche, the make money online niche, the health niche, fitness, weight loss, and the dating relationship niche. Those are the three biggest industries, niches. They're evergreen. So if you're in any of them, you shouldn't have a problem finding enough people. If you're in something else that's really not doesn't fall in one of those, you may have a problem because there may not be a big enough demand for it. Good morning, Eddie. Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, M. Carr. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Sierra. Good morning, Ud Erva, and I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. I apologize. Let me know where you're coming in from. But you need a product or service that you're promoting something, and preferably it should be in a high demand. Now, the second thing is you need a system. And if you're and I did that, I spent a year making this mistake. I was just sending people to a replicated website, which you never want to do. So if you're sending people to a replicated website, if you're sending people to a sales page or just a page with information, a website with information, you're missing a piece, because the problem with that is you only have one chance to talk to that person, and then when the person's gone, that's it. You can't keep communicating with them. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, um, retiree. Good morning, Soulman. So if you don't have a system and you're just sending people to like a website with information, it's a missing piece. You want to get their email address, because when you just send people to a page like that, or replicated website or a sales page, you only have one opportunity to talk to them, and then they're gone. You can't talk to them again. And most people are not going to do something on first touch. Really, no matter what you're doing, they're going to want to see it multiple times. And that's true if you think about your own buying habits. And if you're going online searching for something, you have to look at something. To give you a really good example, is I had somebody on my email list. She got on last October 2024. I did talk to her a few times on TikTok, and then she bought something from me in July. So she was on my email list for 10 months before she did anything. Now, I do get some sales on first touch, but that's not typical. Most people are going to have to see something multiple times. And what you ideally want to do, you want to set up a system where you're sending people to a website, a capture page, a landing page, a squeeze page. It's all the same thing, where you're getting their email address, you're getting them on your email list, and then you have a set of emails going out automatically. You have that attached to your website. And if you're not doing that, then you've really got a missing piece. I spent a year doing that. I didn't know anybody. There wasn't anybody to ask. I was sending traffic to a replicated website, which you never want to do. You don't know what you don't know. And I did that for a year. I spent $3,000 on pay-per-click ads, and I didn't make any money. I knew after a year I needed to get around somebody who had done what I wanted to do. So if you're not sending them to something, it's preferable when you send them to a website to get their email address, you're giving them something away for free in exchange for their email address. I have a free PDF. It could be a free PDF. It could be an ebook. It could be a free webinar training. And if you're promoting someone else's stuff, you could ask them. Really, you could make a freebie to give out. It's not that hard. You can make a PDF about what you're doing. If you don't think you can do that, there's a site called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. They do $5 to $10 gigs. You could get somebody to make something for you really inexpensively. You could send them the information, send them some information about you, a picture of yourself, and ask them to set one up. That would look professional, that you could give away. Now, I have a free PDF. If you go to my website, payyoudaily.com, you'll get an email from me with a link in it that's got my free PDF. You can download that. You can save that to your computer. It's yours to keep, but preferably you want to have a system set up where you're sending people that you get their email address. Now, you do need a tool called an autoresponder. You want to build an email list because you don't own your social media accounts. You can lose them at any time. I've had 10 TikTok accounts. I had a TikTok account. I had over 200,000 followers. I lost that. I had 3 Instagram accounts I lost. Somebody hacked my main account. And then I had 2 other accounts that Instagram suspended, and then they did not rule in my favor. But you don't want to solely, and use social media because you can use it for free. There's over 5 billion people a day on social media. You can get a ton of exposure. But if you're not sending them to something where you can capture their information and keep talking to them, you've got a missing piece, because most people are going to see something multiple times. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. And if they haven't had a chance to get to know you, and I just shared that example about a woman who was on my email list for a year, or actually 10 months. And she finally bought something from me because people have to keep seeing something. They have to get multiple exposures before they're going to do anything. So if you're just sending people to a page, with just information, you don't want to do that. You're missing a piece of that system. And then you have a series. Typically, you want at least 14 emails. Excuse me. You want at least 14 emails attached to your website that go out for you automatically. That's where the automation comes in. And then that's working for you 24/7. And that's how I've been able to wake up to sales. I've been doing, I can be doing something completely different and making sales. I'm not on social media. I'm not using my phone or my computer. And that's where the automation comes in. You want at least 14 emails attached to your website that they go out automatically, and an autoresponder is the tool you need. It's software. Most of them you can start for free, but after you get to so many subscribers, like the one I use, they give you up to 2,000 subscribers for free. You want to build an email list. It's an asset. It's the only thing online you really own. So if you don't have that set up and you're just sending people, if you're using TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, whatever social media platform, and you're trying to get people to take a look at what you're doing, if you're just sending them to a page, you're missing it. So you need a system that you want to put in place. I mean, the third thing is you need a discovery method. Now, you can do paid advertising if you want, and that can get discovery method. That can get really expensive. It does work. I mean, you can use Facebook ads. Facebook ads are a skill you have to master. If you don't know what you're doing, you may get one approved, but that doesn't mean that you're going to get any leads or make any money out of it. And the discovery method I'm using, it's social media. It's free. There's over 5 billion people on social media every day that you can get exposure to, and you want to learn how to use social media correctly. I post, and I've tested this myself. I've posted 3 videos a day on Instagram and TikTok. That's the sweet spot. That's what gets me leads every single day, views, people looking at my stuff. You have to create content, and these are short videos that you're creating around whatever it is you're doing. The person that was on my live, that she's got a nonprofit that supports women who've been victims of domestic violence. She wants to create content like that. You want to create content that's congruent to what you're doing. If you're talking about something else and you're doing something else, you're just going to confuse people. But I found 3 videos is the sweet spot. That's how I drive traffic into my system. It comes from my social media accounts. I get leads every single day, because if you're not generating any leads, you're not marketing. And ideally, you want to have your discovery method that's working enough that you're getting leads every single day. You're getting exposure. You're getting people on your email list. Because if nobody's seeing what you're doing, it makes it really hard to make any money. Thank you, Michael, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. Good morning, Arlene. See who else is on here. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Landon. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Karen. Let me know where you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. I'm about 40 or 50 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia. Where are you coming in from? Good morning, Arlene. If this is the first time you've been on one of my lives, comment yes. I've been seeing some names lately that I don't recognize. Now, TikTok does show me who's coming on. Thank you, Arlene, for liking the live. I really appreciate when somebody likes it. Thank you, Michael, for liking it. Good morning, John. Arlene, this is the first time you've been on. Okay. I can see TikTok does show me who's coming on, who's liking the video, that kind of thing. YouTube does not. So if you don't comment, I can't shout you out. TikTok does tend to show you that, and they keep track of. Michael got a #1 gift badger. They do keep the track of that. Arlene, you got a #2 gift badger. TikTok does that. YouTube does not. So just to go, the 3 things, the simple system you need for online success. You need to promote a product or service that's in high demand. You need a system. I mean, if you're just sending people to a page with information, you're missing out on. And then you need a discovery method. Me and my colleagues, most of us, we use social media for free. You can do paid marketing. And here, I'm just going to show that. You want to screenshot that, because if you're trying to use social media, some of you don't have this, and you're not going to get the results that you want. Because if you're just sending people to a page with information, they're going to be off the page, and then you're not going to have, they're just going to look at it once, and you're not going to be able to keep talking to them. Good morning, James. Good morning, Nina. If you're coming on. Let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Vinny. I'm on social media because I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. Um, and most of you're on here for a reason. Now, when I ask people how much time a day do you spend on social media, and I get very few responses to that. There was somebody on here that earlier, not today, that was honest enough and said she spends way too much time on social media. And if you're just scrolling on social media every single day, I'm like, when I'm on social media, it's productive. And I'm actually, TikTok pays me to do these live streams. My time is productive. I'm making money from it. Why not be making money? Because and most people don't want to admit this, but you get on social media and you say you're only going to be on for 15 minutes, and then that turns into 30 minutes, and then it turns into an hour, 2 hours, longer than that. It can get addicted. Why not get paid for it? Because you're just scrolling around. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Sam. And not doing anything. Why not get paid for it? You can turn your social media profile into an ATM, your phone into an ATM. But when I'm on, it's productive. I'm just not getting on scrolling and not being productive. And TikTok, I got monetized recently. I just broke over 100,000 followers on TikTok. I got monetized, which now that means TikTok's paying me for using their platform. I'm close to 100,000 followers on Instagram, and I'd be monetized over there, but Instagram stopped that. They used to pay people for views on your reels. So if you have a question, drop in the comments. Love to know why you're on social media. That's another question most people don't want to answer. And there's very few people, and some of you, I do believe most of you are on here because you're looking for a way to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the results that you want. And if you don't have, I was talking about, a simple system. If you don't have that set up that's working for you 24/7 in the background, and you're sending people to just a page with information, you got a missing piece. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Z. Where you're coming in from? Good morning, Mr. Bills. Anybody remember Mr. Bill on was one of, I think it was Saturday Night Live. That was a long time ago. So love to know where you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. I'm about 40 or 50 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. Good morning, Tammy. I've been doing this. Actually, it was 14 years in September. I haven't worked a job in 9 years. Good morning, Asha. Good morning, 30K something. What's your account about? That a lot of you are on social media for a reason. Um, and I do believe most of you, although I don't know why, most people don't want to say, a lot of people don't even want to say where they're coming in from, why you're on social media. Michael, you remember Mr. Bill? Yeah, that was a long time ago. Good morning, Kay Dang. And you don't want to, you come on, and these lives, I think that one of the reasons people like this so much, and you're just not jumping on my live, you're jumping on other people's lives, and people, you get on one live and then you jump on another and then you go to another. It's not really productive time. Good morning, Charles. But why are you on social media? How much time a day do you spend on social media? And that's another question that most people don't want to answer. And I do spend probably a couple hours a day on social media, but I'm making money from it. So my time is productive. I'm doing this live, and actually TikTok pays me for doing this now. Somebody's left some nasty comments. The TikTok's sending me a message that they're filtering out. Good morning, Sandy. And I don't tolerate negative comments on anything or people spamming my stuff. I will block you immediately if you do that. I put too much effort into this. And whatever the person put, when TikTok does send me that message, they're letting me review and approve it now. If I go over and look at it now, then the live stream will stop on TikTok. I'm not going to do that. But for them to do that, whatever the person put must not be very nice, or it's vulgar or something. Some people just don't know how to be kind. And somebody needs to hear this today. It's your birthright to be wealthy. It's my birthright to be wealthy. God didn't want anybody to be being broke or living in poverty, and yet so many people are. Good morning, Kelly. Most people are like 1 inch away from a financial disaster, and if you had something unexpected excuse me, that came up. Maybe your car breaks down or something like that. You don't have the money to get it fixed. Most people don't even have $1,000 in their savings account. Good morning, Jones. Good morning, user 45. Yes, they can't steal or shine. Yeah. True, Michael. Very true. Thanks again for liking the live. If anybody else wants to like my live, I really appreciate it. Whether you're on my TikTok account or my YouTube channel, I can't see anything on YouTube. YouTube's just telling me the time I'm live streaming. So if you don't comment, I don't know who's there. TikTok does show me that. So if you don't say you're there, I can't shout you out. So if anybody has any questions, when I left this live, actually yesterday I stayed a little longer. I did commit to doing these for like an hour every day. I'm here at 10 a.m. Eastern every day. And actually, a week from today, the 16th, it'll be 3 months I've been doing these. If you've got a question or there's something you want help with, because I do believe most of you are on here because you're looking for ways to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the results that you want. If you have something you're trying to figure out, if you put in the comments, I'd be glad to do a training on it. If it's something I've done, I don't think it's ethical to train or teach on something. But I would be able probably to give you a resource. Mr. How did you grow your account? Okay, I've spent a lot of time learning from other people, and I spent over $100,000 actually. I've learned an attraction marketing strategy. I've learned how to do all that. And there's different kinds of content you want to post. You do want to post 3 different kinds of content. I've learned how to do viral videos, and they're great, but they don't create any kind of connection with you or people following you. They will grow your account. You want to get in a niche, figure out what your niche is. And I was just talking about that. The 3 biggest ones are the wealth, make money online, the health, weight loss, fitness, and the dating relationship niche. Those are evergreen. If you're in any of those niches, you're probably okay. If you're doing something else and it's not in that niche, it might be oversaturated. It might not be enough people interested in it to grow an account. So you want to pick a niche, and then you want to be posting. Now, I have found 3 short videos a day are the sweet spot. I've done 1, 2, 5, 7, 10. And I've done that consistently because I started posting on this account last June, 3 videos. I did it, same thing on Instagram. I'm almost at 100,000 followers there. And then find 10 people on the platform you're using. If you're new, I suggest you just pick one till you master it. Find 10 people on that platform in your niche that are doing the same thing that you're doing. You want to follow them so you can learn from them. And I'd say if somebody's got at least 25,000 followers, they probably know what they're doing. If you find somebody with 100,000 or more, you want to follow them. So pick at least 10 people in your niche, take the time to go on the platform you're on, follow them. And then if you're going to try to get videos to go viral, yeah, it'll get you lots of views, but it's not going to create a connection because there are 3 different kinds of, and I'll tell you that in a second, but look for other people in your niche with videos. And if they've gotten a lot of views on it, do your own video. Don't copy, model. There's a difference between copying and modeling. You want to model what's already proven to work, and start creating content. Thank you, James, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. Good morning, Doris. You want to start posting content on your account. And I have found that 3 is the sweet spot. And that's what will grow your account. And if you look for other videos in your niche, you do want to create 3 kinds of content. Now, viral videos are not the 3 kind. I mean, that'll get you a lot of views and likes and stuff, but somebody could have 1 million followers. How many of those followers are you really connected with? And it really doesn't matter because I can tell you there's people who have way less followers than I do, and they're making more money. Yeah, I know how to do that and how to get followers and how to get likes, but you want to post 3 kinds of content. The first kind is value. You just want to take something and make sure everything you're doing is congruent with what your account's about. And mine's about making money from home, doing a video. Like I posted one yesterday about how to set up your social media account correctly, give out free value, teach something, take something you learned and teach it. Second one's relatability and storytelling. Tell people your story, why you're on social media and what you're doing and why you started doing it. share, just not why you started doing it, some of your struggles. And I've said on many of mine, I lost my job. I couldn't find another one. I was broke, unemployed, in foreclosure, and I found myself drowning in $250,000 of debt. And I had no idea how I was going to get myself out of this mess. Tell your story. And then the last one is conversion content, which is you share like a webinar, invite people to like a webinar or like a challenge, a 30-day challenge, or a sprint or something. That's conversion content, that you're inviting them to that. In all your content, you want to give a call to action. Like I tell people, if they want more info, to comment yes on my videos. Now I use software. I mean, I've automated just about now everything that I can. Now the software I have access to, I do have an account for TikTok, but right now, because of the whole thing with TikTok getting banned in the US, they're not letting anybody in the US use it. So, and TikTok right now is not letting me respond to people. They're giving me warnings, community guidelines violations. So you want to be posting that kind of, and three, you can do what you want, but I can tell you, I found three is the sweet spot. You want to send people, and that's what I was talking about earlier. And I had my whiteboard here. Let me just here showing you to set up a system, because if you're doing something and you're trying to grow a social media account and you're just sending people to like a website with information or a replicated website or a sales page, and you're not capturing their email address because you want to build an email list because you don't own your social media accounts, you can lose them at any time. I've had 10 TikTok accounts. I had a Facebook group. I had over 60,000 people. Facebook deleted it. You don't own your social media accounts. You don't control them. You own and control your email list, and you want to get people on your email list. Preferably, you want to give them something away for free. And that's another piece of giving out free value. It's not that hard to make I have a free PDF. If you go to payudaily.com, you'll get it. If you opt into mine, you put your email address in, you'll get an email from me with the free PDF. You want to give something away in exchange for you giving, that person giving you their email address. It could be a free PDF. It could be a free ebook. It could be a free webinar training. Now, if you're promoting somebody else's stuff and you don't have anything to give away, you could ask them if they have something. It's not that hard to make a free PDF. And if you need help with that, you can go to a site called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. They do like $5 to $10 gigs. You could pay somebody to create a PDF for you. They're not that hard, but that's what I've done to grow the TikTok account you're on. I started posting 3 videos. This is a new account. I lost 10 others. Last June, started posting 3 videos a day. I'm over 100,000 followers. I got monetized on TikTok, which means TikTok's paying me, and that's another stream of income for using it. I'm almost at 100,000 followers on Instagram. I'd be monetized over there, but Instagram discontinued their program. They don't have one anymore. I was monetized on YouTube. I'm trying to get that back. And the program, you have to meet a certain criteria to get monetized. You can't just set an account up. They're not going to start paying you. TikTok has a lot of things because they keep sending me more and more things, trying to get me to do, put up other kinds of videos, which you don't want to do that if it's not congruent with what you're doing. You're going to confuse your audience. So you want to be posting content about what your account's about. And I do suggest, if you have a TikTok account, you've been using it to scroll, and you want to use it to get attention to something, you got a business, a cause, whatever it is, set up a new account, because you have to train the algorithm. And if you're using a social media account and you're searching all this other stuff, the algorithm is not going to know what to send you. You're going to confuse it. So you want to, I do recommend you, now you don't have to do anything, but I do know stuff about this. You want to set up another account just specifically with what you're doing. Don't use that to scroll, because you do need to train the algorithm. The algorithm on TikTok is more finicky and picky than the others. So if you're searching other stuff, you'll never be able to tell the algorithm what to send you. Good morning, Kiki. Good morning, Maggie. Good morning, Bruce. Good morning, Esther. Good morning, Doris. So that's what I've done to grow this account. And I did spend, and I have spent over $100,000 to get around different people to learn from them. I spent a year in a coaching program that was specific to Instagram. Now, when you're doing video, whether it's Reels on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, you can do the same thing with lives. There's other things on Instagram that you do specifically for that. And there's things on Instagram you can't do on other platforms. Like my favorite thing on Instagram is if you post a story, you can put it in your story highlights and that stays up there forever unless you take it down. Every other platform, when you post stories. Now, last night, I'm a big, huge football and baseball fan. Phillies won last night. They kept their chances alive. I posted something after the game that they won on my stories on TikTok, and I did it on Instagram. The one on TikTok, they just go away in 24 hours, that they're gone. Instagram, I put that in my highlights. That's one of the things I love about Instagram, and that will stay up there. If you follow me, how I spend a lot of my free time, not all of it, watching football or baseball. And right now it's football season, and my team, the Philadelphia Phillies, we just kept our chances alive last night by beating the Dodgers. So I post stuff about that in my stories too. But on TikTok, it's gone in 24 hours. They don't stay up. Good morning, David. Good morning, Christy. Where are you jumping in from? Thank you again, Michael, for liking my live. I really appreciate it. Michael's a king of liking live streams. I just gave you a title, Michael. So if you're using that, you can use social media for free. My mentor, and I have a 2-hour blueprint I'm following. That's my mentor. She's used it. She's made like $8 million in 3 years. It works. And that's what I'm doing. And how I've grown my account. I've been doing this for a long time. So I have learned from different people. And whether you're on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, when you're doing videos, you want to model what's already proven to work. You want to stay in your niche. Like my niche is to make money online niche. I have people that contact me. They want to do brand deals. I had somebody contact me. She wanted me to do a YouTube video about her website, which her website is women's clothes. And I forget how much she wanted to pay me for it. And I said no, because I'm not going to put a video up on my YouTube channel. My channel is for entrepreneurs about making money from home, about a woman's clothes store, because it's going to confuse people. It's going to screw the algorithm up. You want to be posting content, if you're doing videos on whatever platform relative to what you're doing. I know there's a lot of people you don't want to get on camera. And I was the same way when I got on YouTube in 2013. I did not want to get a camera. I was in foreclosure at that time. I had to get over that really quick. If you're brand new and you've never done any videos, your first videos will suck. That's just the way that it is. You can do faceless marketing now, but it will take you longer to build something up, because people really, they want to see you, they want to hear you, they want to know you're real. That's why I want to tell people, when you're setting up your social media accounts, and I posted a video yesterday on TikTok about that, you want to set up your profile correctly, because a lot of you don't put your name. You want to put a good picture of yourself. You don't need a fancy camera. You can take a bunch of pictures with your phone. You can take a bunch of selfies, pick one, ask somebody, friend, a spouse, one of your kids or something, to take a bunch of pictures of yourself, and then pick one that you like and put it up on your profile, because people want to see your face. And today, with all the fake accounts and AI, it's even more so. So you want to set so you attract people to you, and then you put in your profile, your bio, what your account's about. Now on TikTok, you cannot get a clickable link in your bio till you get 1,000 followers. And you can try, I'll give you a little tip on that. If you have a new account, you can, if you try to set up a business account. Now, let's let me do this, and it's been a long time since I've done this. But if you set up a business account, you might be able to get a website in. There's a section in your profile before you have 1,000 followers. That was a long time ago. I did that, and I started using this account last June. But you can try that, because if you have less than 1,000 followers, TikTok does not let you put a clickable link till you get to 1,000. But that's a little trick you can try. I don't know if that still works. If somebody tries it and works or doesn't work, let me know. I'd be curious. But I've done that in the past. I think I have a little friend here today. So you want to set up your profile correctly, and you want to use a system. And I was talking about that. My whiteboard here. 3 steps. I'm going to show it over here to YouTube, because if you're not sending people to something, and preferably you're giving something away for free in exchange for their email, and getting them on your email list, because your email list is the only thing you really own. And you may have heard the money's in the list. That's true. Mr. Bill saying, yes, I did that a few months ago. Okay, well, good. And what are you promoting? Because there's a lot of people. If I go to their profiles, Some people don't have anything. Um, and you can on TikTok, you can try what I was telling you. You might be able to get a link in there, but if you don't have 1,000 followers on TikTok, you can't have a clickable link till you get to that. If you have a new account, um, and you always want in all your content, you always want to give a CTA as a call to action. I tell people if they want more information to comment yes. And I have on Instagram, mine it's completely automated. I have software I use. I can't right now use it on TikTok, unfortunately, until we figure out, till we know whether or not in the United States TikTok's going to get banned or not. Good morning, Ruth. Um, good morning, Veronica. Love to know where you're coming in from, but you want to send people to a system. You can use social media for free and generate leads. And I've generated tens of thousands of leads from social media for free. Get them on your email list, and then you can nurture the leads. Music and clothing. Okay. And, once you get going and you start generating leads from your social media accounts, get them on your email list, and then you can keep talking to them. Typically, it's in this, you want to have 14 emails, at least 14 emails of follow up. I have more than that. I think I have 33 now. Good morning, Milan. Good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Babe Cock. And I'm not pronouncing that correctly. I apologize where you're coming in from. But you want to get people on your email list, build your email list. It's the only thing you really own. You control it. Your social media account, you don't. And like TikTok, I have a love-hate relationship because right now TikTok's not letting me respond to comments. They're issuing community guidelines violations, and I don't know how long they're going to keep doing that. But I do have a love-hate relationship. I do think TikTok is the easiest platform to learn. I've seen people in this industry who've never gotten any results get on TikTok and start getting leads and sales from it. It's not, like YouTube's, and I love YouTube too, but YouTube's a different animal. It's a search engine. You have to learn SEO. And when I do content on YouTube, not these live streams, I don't, but if I do a video, I'm looking for a keyword that I can create a piece of content around. That I could try to rank it, because if you rank a video on YouTube and you get in those first 3 spots on YouTube, you'll definitely start getting people to the video, to your channel. Good morning, Arlene. Good morning, Asha. And if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, I apologize. So you can use, social media for free. I do suggest if you pick one platform and do it till you master it. And then move on. I'm on a number of different platforms because I've been doing this for a long time. And I've gotten good, on a couple of them. And you can do that after you start, with one. But if you're new and if you do have an account that you've used to scroll on, I really do recommend you set up another one. You want to train the algorithm for what you're doing, because if you're using an account, you've gone and you're looking at all different kinds of videos, you're searching for all kinds of stuff, the algorithm is not going to know what to send you. It'll be totally confused, and you're probably not going to get the results that you want. Good morning, British Super T. What do people call you? Good morning, Bailey. Where are you coming in from? Love to know what part of the world you're coming in from. I'm on the East Coast of the United States. Love to know why you're on social media. I'd love to know how much time a day do you spend on social media. Now, I do spend at least a couple hours. I'm creating content. I'm responding to people. I'm live streaming. I do these live streams and I'm on for usually like an hour. But I'm getting paid for it. Like TikTok is paying me. I got monetized on TikTok. TikTok is paying me for these live streams. Good morning, Hellman. You can get monetized on just about every platform. And you have to meet a certain criteria. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Dina. I'd be monetized on Instagram as well. I'm close to 100,000 followers over there, but they stopped their monetization program. They used to pay you for get the views you got on Reels. And TikTok is constantly sending me all this other stuff. Good morning, Peggy. Good morning, Victoria. Good morning, is it K-Walk? It's constantly sending me stuff to try to get me to do videos. And the videos they want you to do videos about different things. And I'm not going to do that because of the algorithm. They got ones that they're doing now, asking you to do about Halloween related things. And I love Halloween, but I'm not going to put a video up on my TikTok account about Halloween or like pumpkin spice or whatever. I forget what it was. Good morning, Sarah. But good morning, Ace. They want you, if you do get monetized, and they'll start sending you stuff. But I'm not going to put videos up on any of my social media accounts that don't have something. Congruency is important to what I'm doing, because the algorithm will never figure out um, what your account's about and what to send you. So I do suggest that. And if you are scrolling, I keep my scrolling really basically to Facebook, but if you look at something else, if something else comes through your feed and you see it and you decide to look at it, yeah, because the algorithms are very sensitive, and the one on TikTok I think is the most sensitive. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, Rodney. But they're all, if you don't train the algorithm, it's not going to know what to send you. And that's something I've learned over the years that I've been doing this. And the gentleman who, you've got a music and there's something else business, learning how to use social media correctly. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you don't learn how to use it correctly, you're not going to get the result that you want. And over many years of doing this and learning from different people, the viral videos, and I'm just learning this recently. Yeah, they're great. That one video I have that's pinned to the top of my account about Adidas, it's got over 2.2 million views. It's got over 42,000 comments. That video alone has gotten me like 45,000 followers. But viral videos don't create connections or relatability with people, and connection equals currency. So you want to be posting different kinds of, your 3 videos, different kinds. And I'll go over that again. You want to create content and you're just giving out free value. Teach something, take something you've learned and teach it. The second kind is relatability and storytelling. Tell people why you're doing this. Share your struggles. And I've shared mine about losing my job. I couldn't find another one. That's how I got into this. So story relatability, because that creates connection. And then the third kind is conversion content, which you're inviting people to something like a webinar or a challenge or something like that. But those are the 3 kinds, and I'm not putting the viral in there because, yeah, you can do, and I've done a lot of viral videos. It's got me a lot of views, a lot of comments, likes, and all that other stuff, but it doesn't create a connection, and connection equals currency. And my mentor has used that to make $8 million. You want to model what's already proven to work. Success leaves clues. So if you're not, that's why, and I find it fascinating how people think if you're going to learn something new, that you don't have to invest time or money in to learn it. Yeah, you can get my free PDF. You can go to payudaily.com. That's free. It's a blueprint I'm using. It's a 2-hour workday. It's a proven system. It works. And you can try working off of something free. But it's very hard. And I spent a whole year. I can save you a year in time and money trying to do this by myself. I didn't know anybody. It's very difficult to be successful here doing this by yourself. No matter what you're doing, because if you're using social media, you want to learn how to use it correctly. Good morning, Johans. Good morning, Imelda. Good morning, Kirsten. Good morning, Martin. Good morning, Hot Rod. If you're jumping on, love to know what part of the world you're coming in from. Why are you on social media? That's one question most people don't want to seem to answer. And the other one is, how much time a day do you spend on social media? And today, nobody's answered that. Good morning, Oskins. Good morning, Dina. Most people don't want to answer that. I did have somebody, she was just being really honest. She said she spends way too much time on social media. It can be addicting. And you could say you're only going to get on for 20 or 30 minutes. And then an hour goes by, and then 2 hours go by, and then 3 hours. And it can be addicting, and you're just scrolling, wasting time, really. You could be on social media and getting paid. I get paid. And you could turn your social media profile into an ATM or your phone, because a lot of this you can do from your phone. Good morning, Modern Southern. Good morning, Oskins, if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Good morning, Wes. You're from Jamaica. Okay, welcome. Good morning, Shanna. Modern Southern Girl, you just got a number 2 badger. Michael's, I think, got the number 1 because he's liked this live so much. Thank you, Michael. Anybody else wants to like my live, that helps my account out, whether you're on my YouTube channel or you're on my TikTok account. If you're on YouTube, if you don't comment, I can't see you or shout you out because YouTube does not show me that. TikTok does. I can see who's coming on. I can see when somebody liked it. You get a badge. TikTok does give them out. You're learning how. Okay. If you have questions, ask. And if I don't know, I know a lot of things. I don't know everything. If I can't answer it, I can probably give you a resource. I can do a training on this if there's something you're trying to figure out. I've had people, a guy that got on YouTube actually wanted me to do a video on CPA marketing. I've never done that. I know what it is. I've got an idea how it works. Never really done that and made money from it. So I don't think it's ethical to train or teach on something you haven't done. But I was able to give him a couple resources, because if you really want to learn how to use something, you want to get around somebody who's an expert at it and learn from them. You can't do this by yourself. Good morning, Kristen. Good morning, Nico, if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Good morning, Don Tony. Is that what people call you? Good morning, Iris. You want to get around somebody that's an expert at it and learn from them. If they have a course, get it. And that's why I'm suggesting, if you're trying to use social media, and the gentleman, it's got, I think it's music and clothing, you want to learn how to use social media correctly and get around people that have done what you want to do. Thank you for sharing the live. If anybody else wants to like or share it, okay, it's your name. Okay, well, good. I'm glad. Thanks for responding. So you want to get around somebody that's done what you want to do. And I've personally spent over $100,000 to get around different people. I've hired people to coach me. I mean, professional athletes have coaches. If you want to really learn this and take this seriously, and I lost my job, I couldn't find another one. I needed to find a way to make money. Somehow I knew people were making money on the internet. And I think it was God telling me. I didn't know anyone. I went to Google, I searched make money online. I bought a website. I had no idea what I was doing. They sent me a 3-page PDF about setting up pay-per-click ads. And I was following that. I spent $3,000 on pay-per-click ads. Forget how much the website was, but I spent over $3,000. I did that for a year. I didn't make any money. Sending traffic to a replicated website, which you never want to do. You don't know what you don't know. And I knew I needed to get around somebody. And the rest is history. And I've met, after doing this for 14 years, it was 14 years last month, met a ton of different people, and people that are highly skilled in something that if you want to learn that, you can learn from them. And bought courses. I've hired people to coach me privately. And this really is a high income skill. You can learn it in 2 weeks, but to master it, it's going to take you longer. And you can if you learn how to use social media correctly, you can turn it into a profile. You can use it into an ATM. You can use it for anything. The gentleman that's got the music and business, and there's something else, music and clothing, I think you said, to use social media to get exposure for it. It's the same thing. You want to learn how to use it correctly. There's a lot of people, they're spamming people. If you're sending a video, a link to a website, to anything to people, if you're putting that in the comments of someone's content, like people do that on my videos, I block you immediately. If you're private messaging people with something, you're spamming them. If you don't have somebody's permission to share something, you're spamming. You don't want to do that, and that can get you blocked, or you can lose your accounts on social media, so don't do it. Good morning, Debbie. Where are you coming in from? You don't want to do that. You want to learn how to use social media correctly, because the results that you can. My mentor has used, and TikTok is really her. Well, she's on other platforms now, but she started on TikTok. She's used it to make $8 million, like in 3 years. I do believe she'll probably be at 9 or 10 by the time December 31st rolls around, and we're less than 90 days. There's less than 90 days left in this year. This year has gone by so fast. My mom always said that the older you get, the faster time goes, and she was so right about that. Thank you, Oskins, for liking the video. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for the rose. I really appreciate that. And TikTok does keep records of that, because if you come up to the top, you can see who's giving gifts. You too. Thank you for jumping on. But if you learn how to use social media correctly, you can use it for anything. And there's tons of people on here. I know there's tons of people that have different things they coach on. Some of them are coaches doing what I do. Some are coaches teaching people about weight loss and fitness, and all different kinds of topics. And they're using social media to get in front of people. There's over 5 billion people on social media every single day. You can use it for free. And TikTok does do the gift badger things, and they do. If you go up to the top of the live, it actually shows you if somebody sent me a gift, who's the number one gifter for today. It shows today's live stream, but when I end this, and then I will be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. They started over again. Good morning, user 1086. Where are you coming in from? Love to know why you're on social media, what part of the world you live in. I live on the East Coast of the United States, about 40 or 50 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Good morning, Sarah. I do online marketing, making money from home, teach other people how to do the same thing. Last month was my 14-year anniversary in this industry. This is an industry. I haven't worked a job in over 9. And the job I lost, I was spending 2 to 3 hours a day commuting to that job. I do not miss that. My commute now is literally, I turned a room in my house, I go up a flight of steps, and I'm in my office right now. Into my office where that's where my commute is. If I'm done my eating breakfast, it's just a matter of me walking up a flight of steps, which doesn't even take me a minute. But I don't miss that commute. Good morning, Mara. And spending that amount of time in a car every day, and you're working 40 hours at a job, and then you're having to spend another 2 to 3 hours going back and forth. I don't miss that. Good morning, Sing Sing. Is that what people call you? That amount of time, spending that much time in your car. And I know probably 3 to 6 months before I lost that job, I was starting having trouble staying awake, and because most of that's highway driving, and I'd stop on my way home to get some coffee or Diet Coke or something to get some caffeine to try to keep me awake. Good morning, sir. I was trying different things because there are people that they fall asleep driving and then get into an accident, and it's not good. But I don't miss that, spending that amount of time commuting. And some of you may be at jobs and have a long commute. I have had people get on here. You're working multiple jobs. There was a guy, Hank, he told me he's working 2 jobs. There's some people working 3 jobs. And we've had people in our community. We've got over 56,000 people that they started doing this digital marketing and been able to leave their full-time jobs. We have one woman, her name is Amy. She had no time. She was working 2 jobs. She had no time to see her kids or spend with her kids. And she did have like a day off. She was exhausted. She started doing digital marketing, and now she's left both those jobs. Good morning, Freedom. Next chapter. What do people call you? Good morning. Is it Ang? If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from, what part of the world you're coming in from. Why are you on social media? And another question, and actually nobody's answered this today. How much time do you spend on social media every single day? And I do spend a good amount of time on social media, but I get paid for it. In fact, TikTok is paying me to do this live. I broke 100,000 followers recently, and you need 10,000 followers to get in their monetization program. I got monetized on TikTok, so they're paying me. I'm close to 100,000 followers on Instagram. I would be monetized over there, but Instagram stopped their program. They used to pay you for the views on your account, your reels. They stopped doing that. I think they stopped that in 2023. But you can get monetized on most platforms and create another stream of income. It was monetized on YouTube too. I lost that. Now I'm trying to get that back. You got to meet the requirements. Like TikTok, the requirement is you have to have at least 10,000 followers, and you have to have at least 100,000 views on your account over the last 30 days to qualify, and then you can apply. And I don't know if when you qualify, if they've ever turned anybody down. I haven't heard that, but you do have to meet requirements before you can apply and get accepted. So if you have any questions or anything you need help with, and I do believe most of you, and when I say, why are you on social media, most people don't answer. There was a gentleman who said he's got a music and I think clothing business, that he's using social media. There's another woman who she was on a couple of weeks ago. She's got a nonprofit that supports women who've been victims of domestic violence, and she's using social media to get exposure for it. You want to learn how to use social media correctly. That's not something you can teach yourself. You can try, but if you learn how to use it correctly, and I'm part of a program, we teach people how to use social media correctly, how to build your email list. It's another thing, because you just don't want to. Yeah, you want to use social media. You can get exposure to over 5 million people for free, but you want to use social media correctly and be sending people to a website where you can get their email address, because otherwise, if you only have one opportunity to talk to people and they're gone, that's not going to really do you much good, because people have to see something multiple times. Good morning, is it Wallace? Good morning, Rent Free Future. Good morning, Freedom Next Chapter. Where are you coming in from? I'd love to know what part of the world you're coming in from. Why are you on social media? How much time do you spend a day on social media? Yesterday on YouTube, somebody she told me she's on 2 to 3 hours. When I'm on it, I'm getting paid. If you're spending hours and hours scrolling, why not get paid for it? Because there's an awful lot of people spending an awful lot of time on social media scrolling. And I'd rather get paid for something. Good morning, Michael. And now I'm monetized on TikTok. So they're just paying me for when I go do these live streams, they're paying me, which is pretty cool. You can do that with most platforms, but you have to meet the requirement. So yeah, most people do not want to say, when I say, how much time do you spend on social media every day? For whatever reason, most people don't want to share that. Good morning, Michael. And thank you, Michael, for there's two Michaels on here. The other Michael, he's got his picture. This Michael that you just popped up, you don't have your picture. Thank you for liking my live. If anybody else wants to like it, whether you're on my TikTok or YouTube channel, if you're on my YouTube live and you don't say anything, I can't see you, so I can't shout you out. I think that's one of the reasons. Good morning, is it Ali? A lot of people like these live streams because you can jump on and off them. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to show your face. You could be laying on your couch and have your phone and jump on somebody's live, jump on their live, get on somebody else's. You could be sitting on a toilet for what anybody knows, and you don't have to expose yourself. There's really no accountability. I mean, if you're hosting them like I am, there is accountability. But I think it's one reason why people like jumping on and off of these, because you're just not jumping on my live, you're jumping on other people's lives. You may get on mine and then get on somebody else's. Good morning, Vicki. But I am here every day. I start doing these, actually be 3 months, a week from today, in fact. And I committed to doing these for an hour. I mean, if you've got questions, you need help with anything, you're trying to figure something out, be glad to do a training on one of these if it's something I've done. If it's not something I've done, I can probably give you a resource, because some of you are trying to use, I mean, I do believe most of you are on here because you're looking for ways to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the results you want, or you're using social media. And if you're trying to teach yourself, hey, you can do whatever you want, but I spent a whole year trying to figure this out by myself, and that's very hard, or if not impossible to do. You need a mentor, you need training, you need a system. Because if you're using social media and you're just sending people to a page with information, you've got a missing piece. And I was talking about that earlier on the simple system for online success. This is my whiteboard. If you want to screenshot this, because if you don't have this and you don't have those pieces, and I was talking about a couple different pieces in that, and have a system, you're only going to be able to talk to people once. And then once they're gone from, they reach your site, your website, your whatever, you can't keep communicating with them. You want to build an email list. Good morning, Barbara. None of us own our social media accounts. You don't own them. You don't control them. You can lose them at any time. I've lost 10 TikTok accounts. One, I had over 200,000 followers. I had 3 Instagram accounts that actually somebody hacked. My main one, went shopping, ran ads, and then deleted it. I had 2 other Instagram accounts that Instagram suspended, and then they didn't rule in my favor. So on both of these platforms, because I wanted to use them again, I had to start over again. And last June, and I stayed off of TikTok for like over a year. Last June, I started posting again on this TikTok account, and it got to 100,000 followers. I'm monetized now. I'm almost at 100,000 followers on Instagram. I'd be monetized over there, but they stopped their program. Instagram used to pay people for the views you get on your reels. So if you have a question, because I'm going to end this soon. I got less than 2 minutes. Drop in the comments. If you got something you want trying to figure out, I'd be glad that, not today, but I'd be glad to do a training on it. If it's something I've done, I don't think it's ethical to train or teach and stuff you haven't done, but I probably can give you a resource. I had somebody that was on my live stream that wanted me to do a video on CPA marketing. I've never done CPA marketing. I know what it is. So I don't think it's ethical that I train or teach on it, but I was able to give them some resources, because if you really want to learn something, you want to get around someone who's done what you wanted to do, somebody's an expert, and learn from them. If they got a course, get it, because this is very difficult to do. And I spent a whole year by myself, didn't have anybody to ask anything. I didn't make any money. And after a year, I knew I needed to get around someone. So if nobody has any questions, unless you drop it like in the next second or two, I'm going to end this now. I am here every day at 10 a.m. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Michael, thanks for liking live. I appreciate it, all of you getting on, and I will see you again tomorrow.